See, only 21 joined. What about others? All of you must join. Okay? Otherwise, will be considered as absent. Unnati? Unnati is present?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Varshita? Varshita? Varshita R.
Ma'am, present.
Hello? Varshita R is there?
Present, ma'am.
Okay. So, this is, can you see my PPT now? Varshita? Is it visible, Varshita? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Visible. Visible.
Okay. See, in the previous class, we studied about this lossless transmission lines. Lossless transmission lines. So, in the lossless transmission line, that is series impedance and shunt admittance, they reduce us to j omega L and j omega C, because with respect to j omega L, this R is considered very small, because omega is a very high frequency in the gigahertz range. This product omega L becomes very much greater compared with the R. Similarly, j omega C may be assumed very much greater than the conductance. So we can neglect the value of this R with respect to j omega L. By doing that, we got in the previous class. So this propagation constant is given by this equation. Or simplifying, propagation constant is a j omega root of LC. That is actually only it consists of imaginary part. Okay, that is a j beta. But alpha equal to 0. That is attenuation is 0 over the line that we saw in the previous class. So as we can observe here, this is an incident wave here. Because alpha equal to 0, amplitude of the signal does not decrease as it travel over the line. Okay, so it remains constant as you move over the transmission line. And similarly, this reflected wave also, its amplitude also doesn't decrease as you move. It will be generated with a particular amplitude because of a load ZL. The amplitude of this reflected wave depends upon the ZL. What is the value of this ZL? If it is a short circuit, entire wave will be reflected back, as we saw in the earlier class. Entire wave will reflect back if ZL is equal to 0, and also ZL equal to infinity, entire wave will reflect back. That means amplitude of this is same as this. But if ZL is other than short and open, the amplitude may be lesser than whatever the incident voltage. So once it is generated here, as it travels over the transmission line, amplitude remains the same, it does not decrease, as you can observe here. Okay, that we saw in the earlier class. And these are the equations for voltage, current and impedance over the transmission line for a lossless line. That means in the general expression, see, these are the expression for lossy line, those we derived in the earlier classes. Okay, so here for to get equations for voltage, current and impedance, just you have to change the value of gamma, because gamma is equal to j beta. Just to replace this gamma by beta, j beta, you will be getting expression for voltage, current and impedance over a lossless line. So that I have made here. So this is the equation, voltage equation. Just to replace this gamma by j beta. Okay, this is a voltage equation. Similarly, current equation and the impedance equation here. Okay, so from here under 2 of x, this is the 2 of x. There also there is a gamma is there. We have to replace that by j beta. You will be getting this equation. Okay, these are the expression for voltage, current and impedance over a lossless line. Only the thing is gamma is replaced by j beta. So now further, if you simplify this, this term is equal to, you take this j beta x outside. Okay, the remaining is a 1 here, and this term is becomes 2 j beta x, because minus j beta x is there. So you should divide this by minus e to the power minus j beta x. So this becomes 2 j beta x. So you can this whole term is equal to O of x. This is the reflection coefficient at any point over a transmission line. So we can write this voltage and current equations in terms of reflection coefficient like this, equation 8 and 9. Okay, so just rearranging the one. Similarly, impedance z of x. See, this z of x is a ratio of v of x and I of x. We will be having this. And if you write this in a trigonometric form, this is in a trigonometric form, we will be getting this. This is z of x is equal to z naught. See, you should do similar to this what we were done for the trigonometric representation of input impedance. See, this is the one what we have made in the earlier classes. Just by doing this mathematical manipulations like this, okay, you can show this input impedance of a lossless line. Input impedance of lossless line is given by z0 zl plus j z0 tan beta l. There is a hyperbolic function is not there. Okay, so but it is there in the lossy line. Okay, this is lossless line. So zl plus j z0 tan beta d, z0 plus zl tan beta d here. This is l minus x is the d. L minus x gives the value of d. That's why it is substituted here. Z0 tan beta d. D is the distance from the load point. D is the distance at what distance you are measuring impedance from the load point is the d that we saw in the earlier class. See, this is a distance from the load. So distance from the load is the d. It is a L minus x that we saw in the previous class. Okay. So this is impedance. You should not forget here. Don't put here a hyperbolic function for a lossless line. Only the difference is j term will be here, but j term is not there in the lossy line. This is z0 tan hyperbolic gamma d. But here gamma is only j beta. This term we will be getting j z0 tan beta d. Similarly, z0 plus j zl tan beta d. So this is a expression for impedance at any point over a transmission line. So if you know the value of d, you can find out the value of input impedance at that particular position. For example, at any point here, distance, you calculate this, how much distance is from the load that you put here, and use this equation, you will be getting the input impedance at that particular position. Okay, so this equation you can use. This is a treatment. So if they ask you to write obtain expression for lossless transmission line, you should do this. You should start from here. Okay, to get a lossless expression for voltage and current and impedance for a lossless line, you should start from here by assuming like this, and simplify the expression for gamma. You will be getting like this. And similarly, z0 also, one more thing you should remember. See, z0, it is equal to only square root of L by C. It is square root of L by C. This is a real number. Square root of L by C is a real. Okay, so characteristic impedance of lossless line is a real number. Real, that means only resistance is there. It is not a impedance. So characteristic impedance of lossless line is a real and is given by this equation. If you know the value of L and C for that lossless line, you can get a value of Z0. So in the examination, they will specify lossless or a lossy. If it is given lossless, you should use this simply Z0 equal to L by C. If it is a lossy line, then you cannot use this. Okay, L plus that Z by Y we have to use. Okay, you should remember. And it is real. Characteristic impedance is a real value. Okay, so this under velocity is independent of frequency. It is only 1 by root of LC. Similar to the distortionless line. In the distortionless line also, we will be getting the same. Velocity is 1 by root of LC. It is independent of frequency. Similarly, characteristic impedance also, it is also similar to the distortionless line or a lossless line. Okay, so this is the equation. So now, this about a lossless line, and these are the impedance, voltage equations, velocity, beta, and gamma equations. Okay, so now we will see there are two waves are there traveling over the transmission line. See, one is a incident wave and its amplitude doesn't decrease, yeah, it remains the constant as it moves over a transmission line in a lossless line. Similarly, reflected wave, two waves are there. Okay, so this is incident wave and this is a reflected wave. So that is from this equation itself. Okay, so in the transmission line, okay, uh, we have two expression for voltage v of x. It is a addition of two terms. This is a one term and this is another term here. Okay, this is represent, here is a e to the power alpha x is not there, that's why it is not decreasing with respect to distance. So this is representing the incident wave. See, this is the incident wave, it is a sinusoidal wave. Okay, this is the one here represented by this equation. Okay, it is moving like this, its amplitude is equal to 1, for example. Okay, incident wave is represented by this term e to the power minus j beta x, amplitude equal to 1 here. And next term, this is representing the reflected wave. So this is the reflected wave here, and amplitude of that reflected wave, see, phase and amplitude of the reflected wave depends upon tau l and length of the line. See, this is the equation, amplitude, it is not same, it is a e to the power plus j beta x. This is representing a sinusoidal, but its amplitude is given by this equation. It depends upon the reflection coefficient, tau l, load reflection coefficient here. Okay, so it is lesser than the incident wave. So this is the incident wave based on this value, based on this. Okay, amplitude of the reflected wave will be changing. For example, this is tau l equal to 0. Tau l equal to 0 means there is no reflection. Okay, no reflection means this entire becomes 0. If it is equal to 1, then it will be here e to the power j beta x. It is equal to the amplitude of the incident wave. Tau l, maximum value of tau l is 1, minimum value is 0. No reflection, tau l is 0. Entire wave reflect means tau l equal to 1, magnitude of this. It has a phase also and ordered with this phase. So phase and amplitude of this reflected wave depends upon this tau l. Again, tau l depends upon zl minus z0. That is zl, it depends upon the load and the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. So amplitude of this reflected wave, that is this wave, depends upon this. Okay, it is not equal to 1. Here is the incident wave, assume it is equal to 1 here, but this is common for both the terms, incident wave and the reflected wave. So you can leave this. Here, assuming this is amplitude is 1, okay, incident wave amplitude depends upon this. Okay, it is like, and again it is depends upon the zl and z0, and the phase depends upon again zl and z0, and also with the this length of the line. Okay, so there are two waves are there anyway. So addition v of x, what is this v of x? It is addition of two waves, superposition of two waves. For example, I want a v of x. What is that v of x? It is addition of these two waves. Then okay, it is a sinusoidal wave, this is also a sinusoidal wave. Okay, but if you add these two, they are of same frequency, reflected wave and incident wave, they are of same frequency, but amplitude may be different. Okay, if these two waves, if amplitude are equal, if this is a 0 and infinity, if zl is 0 or infinity, reflected amplitude becomes same as the incident wave. Okay, then addition of these two waves gives rise, what is the wave? Then addition of these two, they are not constant here, they are moving, traveling over the line. Okay, then what is the wave, nature of the wave? How does it look if you add these two waves? Is it a sinusoidal wave or what is that? They are of same frequency, but amplitude may be different or may be equal. Okay, if you add these two waves, what is the resultant wave with respect to time? With respect to time, they are moving also. Here actually time variant we were removed here because it is common for both, e to the power j omega t, both are moving here. What is the resultant wave if you add these two? How does it look, the wave over the line? Because we have to at any position, it is addition of these two. If you add these two waves, how does it look, that wave? Okay, So that is the wave traveling, that is a wave on this line or voltage variation over the line here. So now we will see what is this if you add the two waves. See, if you add incident wave moving in this direction, this is moving in the forward direction, this is moving in the backward direction, opposite direction. Two waves are there and they are traveling and moving in the opposite direction. Okay, if you add the two such waves, they are of same frequency but maybe of different amplitude. Okay. If you add such two waves, what is the resultant? How does it look graphically? Graphically, okay, that we will see. See, can you see this animation? So, hello, hello, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the animation here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there are, see, you can see here, there are two waves are there. Three. Okay, so this is a black one is there. See, this is a black one. This is a load point. This is the load point here. Okay, load is here. There are two waves are there. One wave is moving like this. One wave is moving. Okay, this is a black one. You can observe this black one is moving. Okay, okay, I will do it again. Hello, can you see now this? Hello, is it visible? Hello, hello, hello. Kavya
Yes,
is
ma'am.
present. Kavya, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible that animation? Huh?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay, there are two waves are there. One is
Yes,
a
ma'am.
black,
It's
another is a
visible.
blue. Is correct? Are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Black and blue
Both are
waves are
visible.
there. One is black wave. See, this is a black. It is moving towards the load end. This is a load point. Okay, load point, and this is a source here. Source here. And you can observe here one wave is moving, that is with respect to time, because it is a traveling wave. So wave is moving, black one is moving towards the load and the blue color one is moving towards the this source, towards the source. Okay, so this is a reflected wave. I took a load equal to 0, that is a short circuit. Short circuit means both are equal, reflected wave and incident waves are equal in amplitude. So this is a black one is the incident wave and the blue one is the reflected wave. So it is generated from the load point. Okay, I have taken 10 centimeter length of the line. I took a 90 centimeter. See, 0 to 90, this is x axis, this is the axis. 90 centimeter I took length of the line. Okay, so the wave is the black one is moving towards the load. This is a load side and this is a source side here. It is traveling towards the source, and it is blue one is moving towards the source. Now you see, because I took here okay, in the MATLAB code, see, I have written a MATLAB code. I took this reflection coefficient. Reflection coefficient is given by R. I have taken here R. Can we see this code? Hello? 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 Can you see the code? Hello? Hello, Kishore? Kishore? Namita? Is it visible? Namita? Namita? Hello? Hello? Namita? Geeta? Hello? Hello? Is it audible or not? Pallavi?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
And this, is it visible? That MATLAB code? Hello? MATLAB code is visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, is it
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Is the MATLAB code visible to you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the see here, this is the reflection coefficient. R is the reflection coefficient. Okay, it is ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay, this is the equation. Here ZL, you see ZL I took a 0. That is a short circuit. Short circuit means 100% reflection will be there. Entire wave reflect back. Okay, for that case, you can see here a reflected wave is same as the incident wave. Okay, this is the incident wave and this is a reflected wave. They are of same magnitude. But if I take ZL is something other than 0, you can get here different value. Reflected wave must be lesser than the incident wave, and they are moving in the opposite direction. See, I have written that same equation. This equation I have implemented in a MATLAB. See, this is the equation. Okay, voltage equation. It is addition of incident and a reflected wave. I am showing here two waves separately and they are moving in the opposite direction. Okay, and this reflection coefficient I took here is a, because ZL is 0, both the waves are equal in amplitude. Okay, but if I change that, instead of 0, if I take here some 20, I will take. Okay, Z0 is 50 and ZL is 20. Then see here, you can see here now reflected wave. Now you see here reflected. Can you see now? Hello? Hello? Kavya? Nikita? Can you see the waveforms?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can see here now reflected wave amplitude is lesser here.
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
And incident wave is this is the incident wave. It is moving towards the load. So it depends on amplitude of this reflected wave or phase. We cannot see exactly here because it is moving here. So incident wave and reflected wave amplitude, reflected wave amplitude depends upon the input impedance. Sorry, ZL value. So okay, anyway, what we have based on the TOEL, there is a reflected wave and its phase also depends, and also amplitude depends upon the ZL, and two waves are moving now like this. With respect to time, they do not stay over the line. But if you add these two waves, how does it look? Addition of these two waves, okay, reflected. So I have written here V of IN is given by this equation. V reflected is, this is the equation for V reflected here, and addition of these two gives rise to the total voltage. Okay, this is the V is the addition of the two waves. If you add the two waves, incident and reflected wave, how does it look? Will it look as sinusoidal, and will it move over that line? That we have to see here. Okay, see now. So I'm taking this as a two-way short circuit only. Now we can observe here what happens. Okay, so this I am plotting that resultant wave also. In the previous I did not plot. I will plot that addition of two waves also now. Okay, so now you see the two waves, three waves now. What are the two waves? This is a incident wave, that is a black one, and see, can you see now? Hello, is it visible? Hello.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay, so now you see there are three waves are there. Black color one is a incident wave, and this is a blue one is a reflected wave going towards the source, and you can see red color one, it's the addition of two waves. Red color is there, that is the addition of two waves. And you can see here it is oscillating, but it looks like it doesn't move. Is correct? You see red color one, red color, is it moving? Red color one, it is oscillating in amplitude. Okay, addition of reflected and incident wave. Okay, you can observe here it does not move over a transmission line. It looks like a stand still over the line with oscillating in amplitude. Okay, maxima always appears in this position. See, this is a position. See here maximum comes, here is a maximum. Okay, and minima is here, this is a minimum, it is coinciding here. It may be going negative like this, a maximum value going negative, or it may be coming positive here. See like this is the minima position, here is a minimum. It looks like this is not moving at all. See, this is a peak point here, incident wave if you take, this is a peak point. This point is moving like this with respect to time, it is moving towards like this. Is it moving here? It is, see, this red color one, it is going down like this, it is oscillating between negative value and positive value. Okay, this peak point, you see, this is negative, it came negative now. Okay, and what happens to it? It will decrease, it will reduce, okay, and become positive, but it is not moving over the line, either in the towards the source or towards the load point. Is correct? Red color one, it is the addition of reflected and incident wave. Okay, so what happens here, if a two waves are there, if you consider a two waves and they are moving in the opposite direction, if the two waves are there on the line, see like this, if a two waves on the line, okay, and they are moving in opposite direction with the same frequency, if the frequency of the wave is same and they are moving in the opposite direction, the resultant wave looks like it doesn't move either in the forward direction or backward direction. It looks like it stand still on the line. See like this, it is looking like it just a peak, it moves upward or downward like this. Okay, it doesn't move in the horizontal direction. But if you consider a reflected wave and incident wave, the peaks are moving either towards the load end or towards the source end. So here this is a peak, see it is moving like this, this peak is traveling, see it is moving like this. Okay, similarly, see if you peak, this is traveling, this peak, okay, it is not oscillating, this peak is traveling like this, horizontally it is moving. But and also similarly blue color one, that is a reflected wave, you can see here, this is a reflected wave, it is traveling like this towards the source side, this point is moving, okay, traveling. So that happens here, for two waves are there, they are moving in the opposite direction. Okay, but the resultant of the two looks like it doesn't move at all. This point, it is not moving either horizontally, just it oscillates in magnitude. See like this, it is going down or going up like this, it is oscillating. Okay, so this is that is called as a wave, looks like a stand still over the transmission line with the fixed positions of maximum values and minimum values. Okay, So this is actually minimum. Here we will find a minimum value, and this is a maximum. It is oscillating, but it takes a maximum value. Okay. So like that wave looks like addition of the two waves traveling in opposite direction with the same frequency resulted in a wave that looks like a stand still over the line without moving horizontally, but vertically it will change. See, like this, its amplitude change, oscillate, but it doesn't move in the horizontal direction. That is called as a standing wave. Okay. So anywhere, see, it is not only in electromagnetics. If you take any kind of wave, if there are two waves are there and moving in the opposite direction with the same frequency, the resultant of the two is like a wave. It doesn't move at all over a line. It look with respect to time. With respect to time, it does not move. It looks like a stand still over the line. That's why it is called as a standing wave. Okay, this red color one is called as standing wave. It is a superposition of reflected wave and the incident wave. It looks like a stand still but oscillating in amplitude without moving horizontally. Okay, that is called as a standing wave. So this is a one what I have written. Okay, the same what I was said till now I have explained here. Okay, if they ask what is standing wave, that you should explain here. Okay, so now here if you take a magnitude of this at a particular instant of time, instead of with the time variation, if you take a particular instant of time and draw the magnitude of this, see this resultant wave, this is a resultant wave what we are having. Okay, if you take a magnitude of, if you instead of absolute instead of as it is, if you plot a magnitude of this absolute value of this, how does it look? Okay, that we will see here. See what I am doing here. See here, I am plotting instead of voltage with a phase, we are plotting only magnitude part of the one, magnitude. Okay, if you plot a magnitude, only magnitude, so this is I am writing ABS, magnitude of the resultant wave. Okay, and again I will run it. So this is the one, you can see now. Can you see the wave now? Can you see the plot? Hello? Hello? Is it audible? Hello, answer one of you. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And maybe this graph is visible? Animation?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See now what you can observe here. See, I took a magnitude of that. See, it was oscillating previously. Just what I did, I took a absolute value, magnitude of that wave, resultant wave. If you take a magnitude, you will see this is the pattern. Appear looks like. Okay, addition of these two. If you take a magnitude, the magnitude looks like absolutely it is remain constant without changing at all over the line, transmission line. Actually, this is a transmission line. You see, like this is a transmission line, length of the line. It is a end load point. This is a source point. So this is load is here. At a load, see this is the voltage. Actually, this is our voltage. Magnitude of this V of x is there. Okay, this V of x magnitude, if you take a magnitude of this and plot it as a function of distance, it is a function of distance like the source. We are moving towards the source like this. Is correct. This is a x here. Okay, so as you start from load point, load is at a 90 centimeter. I took a 90 centimeter, load is at 90 centimeter. Okay, so and connected a short circuit. This is a short, reflection is a 100% reflection, blue color one. Okay, equal amplitude, both incident and reflected, because short circuit. Okay, so there is a addition of these two, blue and black, gives us the red color. That is a V of x. And what I did, instead of directly plotting this, I took a magnitude of this. Okay, this magnitude and plotted. That magnitude is looking like this. You see, it looks like a stand still. It is not moving at all, with a fixed positions of maxima and minimas. This is a maximum position and this is a minimum position. Okay, minimum voltage is there. This is a voltage axis. Voltage. This is a voltage axis. This is the length of the line. Length of the line. Transmission line length. Okay, and the voltage is the addition of these two. Okay, it is like this. We will be added together here, and this is a minima here. Voltage, it varies over the line. It reaches maximum value, decreases, and it becomes minimum here. Again it increases, reaches a maximum value, and it will decrease, and it will be like this. Okay, so the voltage over the line varies as a function of distance, and you can observe here it reaches a maximum value and minimum. That pattern will repeat over the line. See, this from here to here or from here to here. Take here from one. This is called as minima position. Okay, this is maxima, and these are fixed positions over the line. So it is at a particular distance from the load. This is a load point. This is a particular point over the transmission line, minima position, and this is a maxima position. Okay, so as you move towards the source like this, you are moving towards the source. If you measure the voltage here, you will be getting minima. If a load is zero, short circuited, you will be getting zero automatically. It should be zero only because it is a short circuit. And as you move like this, voltage amplitude increases. You see like this. As you move here, voltage is zero here, and it becomes maximum here. This point maximum here. And as you move like this, again voltage decreases, reaches a minimum value. Again it will same pattern will repeat. Okay. So actually this pattern will repeat every lambda by 2 at the operating frequency from here to here. That is called as a lambda by 2 distance from one minima to another minima. Distance is a lambda by 2. Okay, from here to here. From here to here lambda by 2. And similarly from maxima to another maxima it is lambda by 2. So what we can observe, if there are two waves are there moving in a opposite direction, okay, then the addition of the two waves, it looks like a standstill over the line. Okay, and the voltage varies as you move towards the source. Okay, and it may take a maximum value and decreases, and the same pattern repeats every lambda by 2 distance. Okay, so here because I have taken load as 0. Okay, we got a minima value there. This is very important. Maximum value we have to measure from here. This is the axis center, voltage 0. Okay, voltage 0 point here. If you go here, this is a maximum value, and this is the minimum value. Okay, so that maximum value and minimum value depends upon the value of load. Okay, so what here in this code I took a load equal to 0. Load is 0, ZL equal to 0. So entire wave will reflect back. Okay, that's why we have like this. Minima is 0. Okay, even you take infinity, entire wave will reflect back. You will be getting minima is 0 only. Okay, now you will see instead of this I will take instead of 50 ohm I will take some 20 ohm for this reflection. ZL equal to 20 ohm. See here what I will do, this reflection coefficient, instead of that I took 20. Here also 20. Next okay, you can see now. Can you see the wave now? Hello, 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 is it audible? Hello,
Ma'am, your voice is
it
clearly
audible?
audible, ma'am.
Hello, hello, audible or not? Hello, Harshini, is it audible? Harshini, Harshini, is it audible? Kavya, hello, Hello.
Well, ma'am.
Huh? Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. So answer me, Kishore. Hello,
I'm
Nikita.
audible, ma'am.
Audible. Okay. Now you
Ma'am,
tell
yes,
me.
ma'am.
Is it visible
Yes, ma'am.
now? Is it audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Waveform is visible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you can
Yes,
see
ma'am.
now I took a load impedance ZL. ZL is equal to 20 ohm. Okay, so now you can see the reflected wave amplitude is lesser than the incident wave. Incident wave is a black color one here. Okay, a reflected wave is the blue color one. It is moving towards the source, and the amplitude of this reflected wave is lesser than the incident wave. It depends upon the load, as I said. I took a load is equal to 20 ohm, so we are getting like this blue color one, its amplitude is lesser. Now addition of these two waves again, you can see here it is stand still. Magnitude of the two waves, it is looking like a stand still on the line. It is not moving at all over the line. Okay, it looks like a stand still, and with a minimum and maximum amplitude. See here, this is zero axis here, this is a zero axis. Okay, zero, and this is a minimum value. It is taking from here to here, from 0 to here, how much is the voltage you measure, that is a V minimum. Similarly from here to here, that is called as a maximum. Okay, so the wave is having a maximum value and a minimum value, and looks like a stand still with a minimum with a fixed positions of minimas and maximas on the line. So this is a load point. As you move like this, see, as you move like this, okay, we will be come across different value of voltage. So it is voltage increasing like this, maximum, it reaches maximum, this is called as maximum position, and it will decrease like this and reaches a minimum value, that is called as minimum position. And that pattern will repeat like this over the line. As you move like this towards the source, the voltage and minimum voltage repeats every lambda by 2 distance. It will take a maximum value, reaches minimum, and again takes a maximum like this. Okay, it's a repeats every lambda by 2 distance, that is from here to here, it is a lambda by 2. Okay, so that's why it is called a standing wave. And now see, we do not see at all this moving waves, just we are observing this on the transmission line. Okay, it looks like so as you traverse like this, as you move in the next slide, see, as you move, this is a line, as you move over the transmission line like this, if you move like this over a transmission line, the voltage will look like this. Okay, it is increasing and reaches maximum, and it will decrease. So if you come here, we will be observing minimum value. So this is a transmission line. Okay, from the load, if you move like this, okay, so maximum you will be observing. If you measure, you will find a maximum, and move further and reach this position and measure, you will be getting minimum voltage. Okay, and it varies sinusoidally. Okay, as you move like this, and again minima comes here. So every lambda by 2 distance, see, from here to here, it's a lambda by 2. Every lambda by 2, the pattern repeats here. Okay, and also same thing happens for current also. See, current is opposite to the voltage variation. You can see like this. This is a current plot. Okay, current varies opposite to the voltage variation. Wherever current voltage is maximum, current is minimum. Okay, this is a current waveform. Usually we plot maximum. So this is called as a standing wave pattern on the transmission line. This is called as standing wave because addition of these two resulted in a standing wave on the transmission line. So the voltage varies like this as a standing wave pattern. Voltage varies like this over a transmission line. And I have written here V maxima from here to here is V maxima with respect to see this okay, this okay, from here this is, here is a maximum, here is a maximum, and this is a minimum here, that what I have written 0 here, 0 point here, sorry here 0, and this is a maximum value, and minimum value is this is the minimum. See here, minimum from 0, this is a minimum, whatever it is above the 0 axis now. See, for a short circuit, this minima coincides with this minima coincides with this zero axis. Okay, if this minima coincides here, that is minima is 0 for a short circuit and also for open circuit, but for other loads it is above 0. See, above 0, but it takes some value, minimum value, that called as a V minimum. From here to here is how much, that depends upon the value. If a load is there, if a short circuit is there, this V minima is 0. Open circuit is there, this is a 0, but other loads it is a some value, V minimum. Similarly, maximum value also from here again measure, that is called as V maximum. Okay, and this pattern again depends upon the load, the value of this minima, maxima, and the position of this minima, first minima, this is called as first minima position from the load. See, this is a load point, this is a load point here. Okay, so from the load point, see, from the load point as you move like this, okay, as you move like this, this is maxima we are coming, and this is a minima. So you move like this, whenever you find a first minima, you stop there, minimum voltage. After this again voltage increases, so whenever you find a minimum voltage, you stop and measure the distance, that is called as first minima distance from the load, first minima distance from the load. So start moving from the load point, that is the load here, and move like this. Okay, whenever you come across a minimum voltage, okay, that means after that point voltage again will start increasing, you stop there wherever minimum voltage you observe, and measure the distance from the load to that point, it is called as a first minimum distance, D minimum. Okay, and similarly you can measure a maxima. See, first maxima came here, this is a maximum, afterwards minima came, this is not a minima position, maxima position is this and minima position is this. Okay, you may get a first minima, afterwards maxima come, that depends upon the load value ZL. Okay, this position doesn't depend remains here only, it is based on the value of ZL. It may be anywhere minima, it may be somewhere here or it may be here, depends upon the load ZL. Okay, it will change, it may be here, anywhere. Okay, if you connect a short, minima will be here only, first minima. Okay, so like that this is called as a standing wave pattern, and mainly what we will measure V minima and V maxima from the flat. Okay, so that is called as a standing wave pattern. So I think it's enough for a standing wave. Okay, so this is about a standing wave, the voltage. So now we will see. See, I have written here the standing wave patterns for different loads. Okay, if you connect ZL is a different value, ZL is equal to 0, how does that pattern looks? See, load, assume from the source point, this length is equal to 90 centimeter, load is connected at a 90 centimeter. Okay, if ZL equal to 0 like this, the pattern of wave is like this. See the pattern.
Ma'am, PPT is not visible, ma'am.
Not visible. Okay.
Yes, ma'am, not visible.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am.
Wait. Is it now?
No, ma'am.
It is not visible?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay, wait. Can you see now? Is it visible now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible now.
Okay. So now see. Okay. So that is okay. So this is the minima, first minima position. As you move from here, okay, whatever is here, from the load point, whenever you find a first minima, you stop, measure the distance. That is called as a first minima distance from the load. Okay, and also if you measure the distance between two minimas, what is the distance from one minima to another minima? That must be equal to lambda by 2. Okay, operating frequency. And this distance is this voltage is called as a V minima, and this is called as a V maxima. Now are you able, can you see the one PPT? Can you see the PPT now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So here I have written a plot that standing wave pattern for a different load. ZL is different. ZL equal to 0. Then the wave pattern is like this. Standing wave looks like this. Okay. So that is because the short circuit here is a 0 here. 0, and it increases and reaches a maximum and decreases to become minima value equal to 0 now here, coinciding here, 0 value. See, this is a 0. Okay, minima is coinciding with a 0. This is for a short circuit. Okay, in the load is short circuit, minima is at the load point and reaches maximum, and it actually lambda by 4 distance from here load, this maximum, and this is repeating. Okay, this point is repeating again. If you connect a load is infinity, ZL is infinity, maxima is at the load point. Now voltage is maximum for the open circuit, so voltage is maximum here, and it decreases and reaches the minimum value here. You can see opposite to this. If you connect a ZL equal to 0, this is a pattern. Minima is here and maxima is at a distance of lambda by 4. But in this case, ZL equal to infinity, maxima is at the load point. Okay, but minima is at a distance of lambda by 4. From here to here, lambda by 4. Okay, and so like lambda is at a distance of lambda by 4 from the load point, and it repeats again. The pattern repeats like this. And minima is 0 again here also. For a open circuit and short circuit, minimum value is 0 only, coinciding with the 0 axis. This. Okay, 0 amplitude here. This is a 0, 1, 2. 0 amplitude, because I took a magnitude of signal is a 1, that's why maximum amplitude is 2, addition of the two waves. Okay, you will be getting see here, we took the two waves here. One is here maximum amplitude, and this is also taking maximum amplitude of 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2 at a maximum point. Maxima is a 2 and minima is 0 here. And you can see now, if you connect a load, ZL is equal to Z0. ZL equal to Z0. There is a no variation. You see, this is a blue color one. Voltage remains constant. Measure the voltage at any point, it is the same, constant. It doesn't vary at all. There is no minima maxima. V maxima is equal to V minima, like this blue color one. Okay. So when a Z0 is connected to the load, we will be having like this. Okay, voltage is constant everywhere. But ZL infinity and 0, voltage varies with a 0 value and maximum value. Okay. Now other than that, Z0 also not there, 0, infinity. These not three cases. If something ZL is, this is 50 ohm and this is 20 ohm, for example. ZL is 50, Z0 is 20. In such a case, we will be having pattern like this. See here, this 0 now not minima is not coinciding with the 0. See, this is a 0. Minimum is not coinciding with the 0 axis. It is above the 0. See, above 0. So it has a some value that is called as V minimum. Okay, and maximum value is again from here to here. Whatever it will be, V maximum. Okay, so for other loads, other than infinity and 0, minima takes some value like this. Okay, that we have to measure, and the pattern looks like this. And even two waves, this is a resultant of two waves. Actually, whatever I am showing here, these are the voltage over a transmission line, addition of reflected and incident waves. They are traveling over the line, but the resultant looks like a standstill. It is not moving at all. Looks like a standstill with the fixed positions of minimas and maximas. Okay, so like this, different loads gives us the voltage variations like this. That's why you find on many applications this transmission lines. We will see those applications later. Okay, so this is a pattern over transmission line, and on the lossless line, what we are studying is now lossless line. These are called as standing wave patterns. Standing wave patterns for different loads. Okay, if in the examination there may be a question, plot the standing wave pattern for different loads. You should remember this. Okay, it is a pattern like this. For a short, it started with a 0 here, but open it started with a maximum, and but minima value is 0 here. Minima value is 0 here, also minima 0, but maximum can take any value. But the minima position and maximum positions here are different. Here first maxima comes, but here first is a minima itself here at the load point. And for Z0 connected here, this is the one straight line. There is no variation of voltage. Okay, only incident wave will be there. There is no reflected wave. So automatically only traveling wave amplitude is constant. And for other loads, the wave may be like this, and it has a some value of V minimum. Okay, so like this, and the minima position, you see, this is a first minima, and this is a first minima, and for this wave maybe somewhere here first minima position, and V maxima and V minima depends upon the load value ZL. That you have to keep it in mind. First minima position, see like this. See, this is the first minima what we are observing. At what distance it is from the load, that depends upon the load value. Okay. Okay. So in the next class we will see continuation of this standing waves and other calculations. So there are a lot of calculations are there to do in this topic. We will see that in the next class. Okay. Okay. Is it audible? Dilip Joshi? Dilip Joshi is there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Chaitra? Chaitra is present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Present, ma'am.
Okay, we will stop today, and in the next class we will continue.